Welcome to Hockey Ultimate Talk. It is episode 12 with me, Thrash, and my co-host, Reek. Reek, how's it going, buddy?
I'm excited to be here. A long week of, some frustration for me as a Devils fan and some happy moments too, but I'm happy to be here. I am.
Definitely an interesting week in the NHL world. Not only are we going to be talking about the actual free agency here in the NHL, me being a Wings fan, you being a Devils fan, lots to talk about. We also have in NHL 22 some brand new MSPs and a lot to talk about, but the future of the game as there's still 90-something days left of this crap. So
I can't believe that. I don't want to even think about that, honestly.
It's awful, but I do want to give a reminder to everyone listening that, one, this is episode 12, and thank you for being here for 12 episodes already. It's been awesome. I can't wait to continue this throughout the rest of the year and heading into NHL 23. But two, this is the only Hockey Ultimate Team podcast worth listening to. Now, talking...
All right, let's keep it going. All right.
Sneeze pops into the chat, perfectly timed, exactly what I wanted to see. Now, let's talk about NHL 22. Started out, the brand new MSPs here in the game. The thing is, when we're looking at these MSPs, it's not very exciting, but I kind of get it because we're at the end of the year. Blake Wheeler looks awesome, by the way. Blake Wheeler.
He does. I mean, he's a 6'5" forward, 99 speed. I mean, that's insane. You can't deny that. That's a good card.
As for Nurse and Cervenka, meh.
Yeah, Cervenka, I honestly, this is gonna be again rude maybe, but I didn't even know who that really was. If I'm being honest, when I saw it came out,
Yeah, I don't really understand what EA is thinking on this one, and it makes me wonder if, one, are we going to be getting a new event on Friday? Because we are at week 2, we got new Masters, whatever. I assume that this is the last event of the year. We've heard a couple of things that maybe it is not the last event of the year, but who knows, really. If this is the last event of the year, are we getting MSPs every Friday, do you think?
So my thought is, what other event would there be, right? Because you're not going to have a free agency one.
No, it's the summer.
The summer lasts until September, right? So the summer, you know what I mean? It's to me, what else would it be, right? If there's an event literally called the summer, right?
I mean, we have the summer shell, yeah. No, and don't get me wrong, I totally understand. Are we maybe looking at a World Junior event with the World Juniors coming up in August?
That's possible. I don't think it'd be anything crazy new though.
I don't think we get anything insane, but my reasoning would be that last year when we had a summer event, which was, I forget what the hell they called it, but Shades of Summer. When they did that, the Masters were more spread out. We got them every couple weeks, so that way it wouldn't...
kill the game, so quick.
We're getting them...
Content.
Yeah, we're getting them every Friday, and that's super interesting. And I'm wondering, I mean, we'll probably get a week 3, week 4.
I have a thought, though. So how many... There's been, 3 per week, right?
Yep.
So we have 6 so far, right?
Yep.
So how many weeks are there until NHL 23 comes out? In theory.
8 or 9.
Okay, so let's just think, all right, for a second. What if there's just a crazy amount of MSPs and it's just 3 per week until September? Let's just say
definitely an option for sure. The fact that they didn't spread them out.
Yeah, what if there's 20 MSPs literally?
I mean, I'm down for it as long as they're releasing new stuff every Friday. I'm happy.
Yeah, I feel like that's possible.
I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm seeing Merz in the chat say focus on next year, IMO. I mean, they are.
I mean, yeah, let's be real. They've been focusing on next year since October.
I mean, I don't think they're really putting a lot of resources in NHL 22 anymore.
One thing a lot of people need to remember is that all these MSPs and everything, it's all predetermined. It's all pre-done.
Yeah, they're not making new MSPs. They're not let's put it like this. Friday MSPs come out, they're all right, we have a week to make the new ones. That's not how it works.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not what's happening here. Out of the 3 that were released on Friday, Blake Wheeler, definitely the top option. I don't think it's
no question, definitely.
Even close.
He looks very, very good.
Out of the 6 that have been released, I'm still going with Cider as the best one because it's more Cider.
I mean, Nurse is really good though too.
Nurse is probably great, but he's not more Cider.
That's fair. You know what I was thinking too? I mean, very random thought too. I mean, funny that 2 Jets players just got MSPs back-to-back weeks. That's kind of interesting, right?
Did they have any throughout the year? I don't really follow the Jets too much, and I don't really pay attention. I don't really remember every event either. There's just so many of them.
Don't think so. I don't think Connor got one. I know he had an X Factor Connor, right? But I don't.
If that's the case, so. If they're just giving out MSPs now, let me get some more Detroit Red Wing ones.
Yeah,
and they did. They had they had Paul Stastny, they had Mark Scheifele, they had Connor Hellebuck. They had lots of them.
Oh wow! So yeah, you're right. Actually, they did have a lot then.
Yeah. So need more Red Wings, EA.
Again, original 16 when you're not getting on MSPs. How does that make any
Yeah.
sense? Like, I don't know.
It's not fun, but it is what it is. As for all the cards that EA is releasing, like yesterday's content was a snooze fest. I know that you can't really expect too much. It is
Yeah, I mean it's July.
Monday.
It's July
Yeah.
19th. Well, 18th yesterday, but yeah, I mean like what can really come out at this point in the year?
My problem with it is they were banking on free agent signings to boost up, and if they don't have the Stahl brothers, what are they releasing? Because it's a very shallow pool right now of free agents that are signing.
And Stahl's I'm pretty sure he's a PTO as well. It's not like he's really even signed.
Yeah, he didn't even sign. Yeah, it's just a PTO.
So yeah,
very interesting. But I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
I'm not complaining.
July.
Yeah, who cares?
Like, what are we gonna do? We have the trade cards that came out yesterday as well. Ty Smith, and then we can start getting into the free agency and the trade talks. But Ty Smith is on his way out for John Marino. How do you feel as a Devils fan?
My initial thought was, wow, that hurts. Because I know Ty, obviously. Like, I know him personally, so it kind of sucks. Because, I mean, it was, like, cool, obviously, knowing someone from, like, my favorite team, right? And he's just a nice guy. I mean, he is. He's just goofy and funny. I don't know. And I don't know, he's young, so it's tough. Like, I was a little bit like, I don't know. I was not really a believer in trade Ty, while he still has value. Because what if he pops off this year? He really could. Well, he's got talent.
Here's my big issue: is he has a better card than John Marino and Hutt, and that makes him a better player already.
Yeah, that's concerning, right? And he's already a better overall. Player. So that's interesting.
No, I think it's a good trade for both teams. Honestly, Pittsburgh needs to get younger. Like they need to get younger.
But it's not. But what though? I mean, Marino's 25. It's not like he's like old though.
I know. That's fair. But
it's an interesting trade for the Penguins. I think it's kind of weird.
I say that, and then they went out and got Jeff Petrie.
Yeah, exactly. They're definitely not getting younger. Right?
So I don't know. The more I think about it, the less I understand it. But hey, both teams seem to like the deal. It is what it is,
I like it a lot. I mean, I actually do. Like Marino looks really good.
I mean, yeah, and that really helps the right side of the
our right
defense.
Side is very like shored up now. Like we have no questions going into the season about it.
Not a big fan of the left side for you guys. But
I mean, yeah, Siegenthaler and Graves it's okay. I mean, I feel like you don't have that number one guy for sure.
See, the thing is, your left side doesn't look great, but neither does Detroit's.
Yeah, so we can share that, right?
All right, so first of all, as a Wings fan, very happy with Steve Yzerman this offseason. Going out, he's made 8 signings so far since free agency.
He's been a monster. He's made so many signings. He's been
if you want to count in the Ville Husso trade, that's 9 different moves he's made in the last, 10 days?
He's been so aggressive this offseason. He's definitely not taking a very, very careful approach. He's just going for it. I mean, you got to respect that.
He's sick of watching the team lose. And I mean, I can't blame him. But what he's doing is making the team. He's not going to make them a playoff team this year. That's not the goal here. But he wants to make sure that the team is competitive. He wants to be hard to play against. He wants to be a team where, Detroit's coming in. We're probably going to get banged up from that game.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be a grind, win or loss.
Yeah, and Andrew Kopp does that for one. Andrew Kopp, a great signing in my opinion. We needed that top 6 center. I think Kopp fills the build really well. He's not going to put up a ton of points. I
like Kopp.
But he's very, very good defensively.
He can play everywhere. Like he can even play wing for you, which is what's really nice. So he doesn't have to play center, and he obviously could play penalty kill. He could even play power play. He could do anything, really.
Now, a common theme in a lot of the signings of Detroit here, he also went after David Perron, another great two-way player who can put up points.
Yeah, I like that signing.
Perron's a great signing, and he's on a great contract, in my opinion, as well. That was a great deal for Detroit, and I can't wait for Detroit to trade him back to St. Louis next year at the deadline. It's going to be awesome. So,
isn't it 2 years though? I'm assuming. I think
whatever. Fine. Then the year after at the deadline.
The year after, yeah, for sure.
It doesn't matter. St. Louis will be last in the league, and they're like, "Oh, we better get Perron back
for morale."
Right? Like it's ridiculous. And then we can move on to the defense for Detroit, and yikes, that. Okay, first of all, Oli Mata, like it. Good defensive guy.
He's fine,
on a 2-year, $1 million deal or whatever it was. Like it's it's $2 million deal, whatever. But like it's nothing. Like it's a good player to have on the team. We pretty much got a whole bunch of new defensemen for the team. It's ridiculous. Mark Pysyk coming in.
I feel your whole team is like different.
8 players got signed.
Yeah, like you have like half your team is going to be like new additions.
Yes, and then of course the big one is Sherratt here. Now I'm not as down on the Sherratt deal as I am on as a lot of other people are. Sorry, it's not my favorite signing. Obviously, I think that You overpaid and gave him too much term. I think that's fair. I think we can all agree on that, right? I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, 4x4 for him is definitely aggressive. I mean,
yes.
I've seen a lot of people really, really down on him. I mean, I don't watch Ben Sherrod that often. I don't really focus in on him ever. But from what I've heard, I mean, people are very, very, wow, a rare, weird move by Yzerman, right?
Now, that's the thing is, it seems like people outside the NHL are down on Ben Sherrod. But the people inside the NHL like his game. Yeah. Right. The Florida Panthers paid a massive haul.
I mean, that was crazy, that trade.
A massive haul for him. So he has value, of course. Like, teams want this guy on their team. Yzerman felt like it was somebody who was going to help. One, add a physical presence to the blue line, which Detroit desperately needs other than Seider, because, like, Philip Hronek's not throwing body checks. You know what I mean? Gustav Lindstrom's not going out there and reverse hitting fucking Chris Kreider like Seider is. So,
no, I mean, you do need physical players at the end of the day. I mean, this isn't HUD, I know, but like you can't just have like all guys that just aren't going to hit or make it tough physically in a game. You don't have to like, crush someone every game, but like you got to like finish your checks at least,
Is it an overpayment? Yes. I'm still happy to have him on the team, though. I think that's like the important thing.
Yeah.
Here. I also don't mind. Here's the thing. I don't mind $4 million for him. I don't mind 4 years for him, but I hate that they're combined. That's like, if it was a 2-year deal at $4 million, I'm happy with it. Or if it was like,
you're right,
a 4-year deal at $2 million, I'm happy with it. But the fact that it's 4x4 is the issue for me.
4x4 is definitely an interesting one. I'm very surprised that he actually got that much.
Other players Detroit signed are Kazarnik, Luff, and Dominik Kubalik, which is a very interesting one. He's been good for Chicago, but he's played with some pretty good players, so we'll see what he can do in Detroit playing with
his rookie year. He was really good, right? I think he had like 25 goals or something, right?
Something like that. He did very well his first year. He hasn't been bad the last couple of years, but he's definitely slowed down.
He's a depth guy. Like he'll be third line probably, I would say.
As for the Devils, what has the Devils done besides lose out on the Johnny Gaudreau sweepstakes?
We got Palat, so I actually like that. I'm a big fan of the Palat signing. I know Devils fans. There's a lot of Devils fans that are really, really down on the Devils offseason, which I don't know. Like, I'm not saying you have to love it, but I feel like
you're going to be disappointed that you didn't get Johnny Gaudreau.
Yeah,
like,
and it's not even the Devils' fault. It really isn't. Like, he just decided to go to a different team, and that's just the way it is. Like, I mean, you can't blame the GM for it. Like, it's not like the Devils are like, oh, we're offering like $8 million, and that's it. Take it or leave it.
Right? Yeah, I feel you. And
I don't know.
Of course,
and Palat could be a really nice addition. I mean, I know it sounds funny, but like, he's won cups. Like, he knows what it's like to win. And when a game's 2-1 in the third, I mean, he knows what it takes to tie the game. He was on a stack team for his whole career. So, like, he knows what it's like to be on a good team. And I think that actually has value, that kind of leadership. And he still has something to give, Palat. Yeah, in 3 years, 4 years, maybe it looks dicey, that contract. But, like, this year, he'll be good for them, 100%.
I think my main issue with the Palat deal is the
term.
Is the term.
Yeah, 5 years long.
I mean, I think he'll be a good addition for you guys. You guys needed wingers. Like, you needed somebody on the wing.
Yeah.
And this is going to help fill a hole for sure. He should put up a decent amount of points. I'm not expecting too much. He's only ever scored 20 goals in a season one time. So,
yeah, I mean, we're going to really put him in a position probably to succeed, though, too. Because Tampa obviously has a lot of depth, like Stamkos and Point and, Kucherov. Like, I feel like those three always were more of a priority than him, so.
He doesn't shoot the puck a lot, is the big thing.
He's more of a passer.
He does not shoot the puck a lot, less than 2 shots on average per game his entire career. Much less than that, actually. So be on the lookout for him to make a lot of passes. He does put up a decent amount of assists every year, hitting 40 at least all 3 of the last 3 seasons. So
yeah,
that's pretty solid. And I was expecting him to come to Detroit, honestly, with Steve Yzerman and their history there. So
yeah, that would have been a good connection for sure.
Very cool to see that he is going to a team that can use him. Let's be real. Like, Detroit's not going to be competing for a playoff spot for a couple of years. The Devils are on the up and up, so he can help provide a lot of leadership to that team.
Exactly.
Also, Vitek Vanacek does sign his contract.
I'm seeing people talking, trash about it in the chat. I don't know what people expect. That's what he's gonna get paid. Any goalie, like of course he's getting paid that. I like overpayment. What would he be making? I don't know what that means though. Like, and this guy Lung, I mean, I don't know if he's strong or not. He said, guys that receive the puck in Jersey, I read a stat that I'm pretty sure he's undefeated against the Devils. I think he's like 5-0 against the Devils. So
I'm not a fan of the contract, if I'm being honest with you. Not because I don't think he's a good goalie, but I do think it is an overpayment.
It might be, but unfortunately, that's what it was like this year in this offseason for goaltending. Everyone got overpaid. Campbell's worth 5x5. No.
I'm not against that.
I'm not sold to give him that contract either. I mean, I just feel like there's a lot of unproven goalies that got paid a lot of money this year.
That's fair. A lot of unproven goalies getting a lot of money for sure. That being said, what was the deal for Vanacek? Was it 3.75? Was that what it was? Or
no, I think it's 3.3.
3.3. Okay. I don't watch the team. Like I don't watch the Capitals. I don't watch Vitek Vanacek. But a lot of the comments are saying that he got the money that Samsonov should have gotten.
Yeah, I know what that means, but like I don't know what that means though. I'm pretty sure Samsonov had a worse year than him. Looking at the stats, did he not?
I don't know. I have no idea. I do not I don't follow either team. You know what I mean? That's just not my.
Listen, I'm not saying he's like a star goalie. But the Devils need anyone to just make saves, routine saves.
That was a huge issue for you guys.
They couldn't make a routine save. That's the biggest issue.
In Vitek Vanacek's career, he has a 2.69 average for goals against.
That's not that bad. It's really not.
908 save percentage,
and that's fine. I'll take that. Literally, if he has a 908 this year, that will be a much better team.
Yeah, how is it having 7th and 8th string goalie on your team last year?
It was fun having 88 save percentage goalie starting a game for us. It was a lot of fun. It really was. I'm not
against Vitek Vanacek. I do think it's a lot of money, but if he even comes in this year and has a great year, then it looks like a steal. So
yeah, like I said, we'll see. as long as he's solid, I'm not going to be mad. That's all I'm looking for. Just looking for a solid goaltender, and it's 3 years. It's not like it's 5 or something. It's not that long term. So
right, yes, it's not awful. To the Anaheim Ducks, I think the only real big one that we need to talk about there is the Dylan Strome signing.
You mean the Capitals?
Or is it Ryan?
Yeah. Dylan to Washington.
Yeah, that's my bad. On a 5-year deal. That is a big contract for Ryan Strome, in my opinion.
Well, I was looking at the Ducks cap friendly. They have so much money still. They have 25 million cap still. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have I was looking at their team and they have nobody signed. It's crazy.
It's definitely bare down there. I just want to go through each team individually here and talk about the big things here.
Yeah.
So you said Ryan Strome for Anaheim. Arizona's done nothing.
Yeah, who did they sign? Actually, anyone? Like
Troy Stetcher, Nick Bukestad.
Yeah, but those are very just depth guys.
They're very minor stuff. Moving on to Boston, they've done pretty much nothing.
Yeah, who do they sign? I don't really. They haven't even signed Bergeron or Krejci yet, officially.
Nope,
so
nothing's been officially signed yet. So nothing for the Bruins. Head over to Buffalo. They got Olofsson on a decent contract.
They also signed someone else. I'm pretty sure.
Matt Murray. No, not Matt Murray.
Could have been.
Is it Ryan Murray? I'm not sure who it is. It just says Murray.
They got someone else though. Who did they got? Buffalo. I thought they got someone a defenseman or something. Or am I crazy? You sure they didn't sign anyone?
Brett Murray was for Buffalo.
Really?
Kale Clegg, Labushkin.
That's who it was. That's who I was thinking of.
Labushkin. He's on a two-year contract with Buffalo.
Yeah, and Comrie. I actually like Comrie. This is sound funny. I would have rather had Comrie than Vanacek. But listen, it's easy to say, right? Because
interesting for you to say that.
Comrie was really good last year for the Jets. Really good. You could make the case he was better than Hellebuck. So last year,
Nikita Zadorov re-signs in Calgary.
Yeah, I heard
2-year deal
because he was a unrestricted free agent, right?
Here's the thing with Calgary: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 RFAs to sign right now.
That's crazy.
Shillington, Mangiapane, Phillips, Pospisil, Ruzicka, Tuola, and of course Matthew Tkachuk. So they have a lot to do, and I don't think
how much they have.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. I wasn't prepared. I'm sorry. Maybe you should help out with these sometimes. So that being said,
listen, I'm the one that's streaming, all right, and recording.
They have 18 million in cap, so
listen,
they can. Tkachuk is going to want a lot.
He's scary a little bit because I just feel like he wants out.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I just feel like he actually wants out. I don't know. It just seems like after Gaudreau leaving, it kind of reminds me of. It's different for sure. But when Parise left the Devils, I felt like Kovalchuk probably felt like, all right,
yeah.
he
once one is done,
okay, why do I need to be here then? It's kind of Speaking of Kovalchuk, today's the anniversary of him signing a 17-year contract with the Devils.
What a great contract! What a great.
But the
deal
league
that
rejected it, and then it went down to
Yep.
15 years. So yeah,
Wow, no, good for them saving that 2 years right there.
yeah, that was huge. Less years for the buyout.
For the Carolina Hurricanes, Kasha being pretty much the only real.
I mean, well, and they acquired
addition.
Brent Burns right in the trade.
That's what I was going to get to. Yeah, they did acquire Brent Burns in the trade. Now, who knows if that's going to be huge? Also, Max Pacioretty.
Yeah, they made some funny moves.
Nothing.
They made some funny moves. I mean, Pacioretty, if healthy, very, very good trade.
Oh yeah,
very good trade.
They improved their team and didn't pay a lot to do it.
Yeah, very, very smart. What is Pacioretty's contract even?
Oh boy, that's a good question. Apparently it's capped at $7 million a year for the next year, and then he's a free agent.
Okay, it's not bad. Henrik knows nothing about hockey. Why is he doing this? Yeah, I mean, I don't know what that means, to be honest.
I mean, he's not wrong, but we're having fun, so who cares?
Thanks for Suzuki Vegas. I mean, yeah, I can't believe they actually traded him.
Moving on to the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah,
oh boy.
They're a team. You want to talk about a team? That's a team.
Well, I can name about 5 players on their team right now.
Honestly, though, it's like not even a joke.
Domi and Athanasiou both signed for 1 year, $3 million contracts. They're basically just giving out money.
They're trade bait.
Yeah.
And
they're trade bait.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trade bait, and they're, hey, we need to fill roster spots and hit the cap floor. Here's $3 million.
Yeah, they have no choice. Yeah, they literally have to pay people. As funny as that sounds, like there's literally no other option.
Certainly interesting coming out of there. The Colorado Avalanche, bunch of re-signs. We got Manson, Darren Helm. Nothing huge coming out of there.
You think Kadri goes back?
I
don't
mean,
know how much they have, but I mean, like, I feel like it's like the longer he stays unsigned, it kind of leaves the door open. I think
the door is definitely open. It's just a matter of
can they afford it? Yeah, that's
exactly. They currently have $3 million in cap.
So 3.9. It'd be very dicey. They'd have to obviously move a player.
They'd have to move something, and something would have to happen. That being said, I think that's something we can talk about a little bit later. Is the current free agents who are still available.
Yeah, where they might end up. Yeah, and there's a lot of like pretty good ones, honestly. Yeah. Like even Niederreiter. I mean, we'll get to it, but
on Instagram, there's an update that Matthew Tkachuk and the Flames are parting ways. I'm not trusting a damn thing from Instagram. I'm
gonna be honest. Instagram is definitely not a place I look for news. Respectfully, though.
You know what? I tell you what. I'm gonna make a NHL news account on Instagram and just post the most ridiculous things and see how far I get. Probably
honestly,
get pretty far.
You really could. I am seeing that people are talking about. Okay, yeah, no. So this is where people are getting it from. Some guy tweeted Eric Francis today on 101 ESPN in St. Louis. St. Louis, by the way, saying this. Said that he expects a possible Matthew Tkachuk trade to be wrapped up within the week. He said it was clear to him the two were parting ways. Again, that's someone in St. Louis saying it, though. So you can't say, Eric Francis is legit, apparently. I don't really know who that is, I'm going to be honest.
He works for Sportsnet.
Okay, yeah, that's why I don't know. I don't watch Sportsnet.
Oh, for sure. He's a senior analyst for Sportsnet. He's been around for a bit.
So this could be valid, you believe?
Could be valid. That's fully on me for thinking that
would get a haul, no doubt.
Oh, absolutely,
they would get a monster haul.
To Detroit,
maybe a couple first. Honestly, a couple first, top prospect, probably roster player. They get a lot.
To Detroit, wow.
St. Louis makes a lot of sense, but obviously, how can they even make that happen? Because I don't know.
Before we continue, I want to apologize to Wantless for for me saying, "Hey, don't listen to Instagram." I mean, hey, normally don't listen to Instagram, but hey, I was wrong on that, so I'm gonna own up on that. I apologize. And that would be huge news and something we can definitely talk about on the next podcast if something does get done.
Yeah, right, Harmonic. Yeah, exactly. If that was real, if that's true, if that was real, if that was offering second for it, they probably do feel silly for not taking it.
Yeah. The Blue Jackets got Johnny Gaudreau. How do you feel about this?
Hey, you know, Johnny, good luck, man. I mean, have fun in Ohio. You know, I don't really know what's out there besides the hockey team and basketball team, but you know, and the baseball team, but really, and the football team. But again, that's all they got is the sports.
I mean, he was pretty close to signing with the Devils.
I don't really understand it. I mean, but again, I'm not him. Obviously, I have my Devils glasses on, so I think, wow, the Devils have a better future than them. They have a better core, yeah. But like, I guess he sees it differently. So I mean, I can't really. I mean, it's him. It's his choice, right? There
was a reason he went there.
Yeah,
we won't know that reason. We won't find that reason.
Yeah, like exactly. He'll say what he wants publicly, but like deep down, it could be different for sure.
Exactly. Yeah, we're not gonna know. he made his decision, and it's not like I'm gonna sit there and be like, I can't believe he didn't go to Detroit.
Yeah,
they weren't even in the possibility, but like it is what it is.
Yeah,
he made his decision. And
I was really, really mad like the first day, obviously, but like whatever. Like what am I gonna do? But then the Devils signed pull out, I think the same night or the next night. So I was like, all right, like at least it softened the blow a little bit.
Makes you feel a bit better. That was definitely shocking to see.
That was the most shocking thing that's happened the whole offseason. I think that's fair. And
yet, Columbus still may have lost free agency after signing Erik Gudbranson to that contract.
It was also 4x4, no?
It was. What
is going on with the Sherratt and Gudbranson? Like, why are they getting monster deals?
I am absolutely paying Sherratt that amount of money instead of fucking Gudbranson.
Oh yeah, I think Branson's definitely worse in theory, unless I'm crazy. But I think that's
that's according to the internet. That is
yeah.
But I am not I don't follow many teams, and a lot of people find this. By the way, he's getting paid $5 million.
Yeah. Okay.
That's scary.
Yeah, that's but yeah. So wait, it was 4x5 or something, or 3? What was it?
He's on 4x4, but he's getting paid $5 million.
Okay.
It's just how the contract gets worked out, right? So he gets $5 million this year, then $4 million, and 3.5.
So it's spread out. Yeah, I get it.
But Erik Gudbranson, I don't follow a lot of other teams. It's not really like I follow the Wings, I follow the Leafs. That being said, I'm not paying Erik Gudbranson 4x4.
No, I'm definitely not.
I wouldn't pay Sherratt 4x4, but I'm definitely not paying Gudbranson 4x4.
That's just the one thing you got to be careful of always in free agency. You just got to make sure you don't overpay people long term. That's the biggest concern you can really have. That's what I'm always scared of. As long as you don't make just a silly contract signing like the Lucic, well, I mean, there's a few from that year, 2016. There was a
bad year.
Andrew Ladd, that was too. Oh, there was just some rough signings.
Dallas not really doing too much yet.
They didn't even sign Robertson yet, did they?
No, or Ottinger.
How much do they have in cap? They're also gonna have enough, I'm sure, right?
They are cutting it close, if I'm not mistaken. Which is why
Robertson 8 minimum 8 by 8 minimum for him. 100%.
They have 11 million cap, so
that's scary. Someone could offer sheet Ottinger easily.
They absolutely could. This is the reason Klingberg is likely not going back.
Yeah, that's why Klingberg probably. Yeah, you're right. He's definitely done.
Yeah. But you never know. I guess anything could happen in the NHL. Moving on, we already talked about Detroit. Kopp, Sherratt, Kubalik, Perron, Kazarnik, Luff, Pissick, and Olli Mata. A lot of contracts, a lot of years being given out by Steve Yzerman, which is complete BS.
Yeah.
If you were to talk to anyone who knows Steve Yzerman, no one would believe you that I've said what I just said.
Exactly. Well, Corey says no team has any cap right now. That's just not true, though. The Ducks have a lot of cap. Teams have cap. Buffalo, I think, has a lot of cap still. Detroit even still has a lot. Yeah, I mean, teams have cap. Like, they really do. Like, it's not like there's no team that can offer sheet a player if they wanted to.
Yeah, there's a lot of cap, and a lot of ways to make cap. One thing I want to say, I don't think that we'll see him in the NHL anymore. So long to Danny DeKeyser. I don't think he'll be coming to any NHL. If anyone gives him a contract, I swear to God.
Maybe PTO I could see him probably not making the team or something, but
Sam Gagner, he's not signed a contract yet. And there's a lot of players still available.
I think he'll sign somewhere, Sam Gagner.
I could see it. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if Yzerman brought him back as a
he's not bad
leadership ability.
Fourth line, he's fine. I think.
Edmonton Oilers, they get Evander Kane back for 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully it works out for them. I mean, he had a great year this year, but he's going to replicate it. It's tough.
And then Jack Campbell, the big signing for them. They finally get a goalie that isn't named Mike Smith.
Yeah, I mean, this, to me, I mean, it's really hard for it to go bad in terms of, like, I mean, it'll be better than Smith, right? But is he the goalie that's going to lead them to the cup with McDavid? I don't know.
It's going to be interesting. I wish him luck. As we all know, he played for the Windsor Spitfires. I got to see him play a bunch. I have his autograph. Like, I wish him the best of luck. And he gets to play with the best player in the world. And
so that's a lot of fun, right? Get to speak.
He goes from playing one of the best goal scorers in the world to arguably the best player in the world. So
yeah, exactly. So I mean,
awesome for him. But
he'll be getting goal support. We can definitely say that.
Edmonton also signed Kulak, McKegg, Calvin Pickard, and
Kulak.
Janmark.
I like the Kulak signing. Janmark. Yeah, I mean, he's fine for depth. I mean,
again, a bunch of depth signings, nothing crazy. Florida ends up getting Colin White. Interesting signing. Very interesting signing. He could still turn it around.
He's not a bad player. Like I think he had a couple decent years, didn't he?
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like he was only bought out because of his contract. Like they didn't want to
Yeah, I don't
continue
want.
on.
Yeah, I don't wanted to kind of just like get just some different pay their different younger players, right? Like obviously Norris, they just paid, so they wanted to make sure that they don't have to have any cap issues down the road.
That's exactly it. Like he ends up getting a decent contract with Florida.
What was it actually?
This year's cap is only 1.2 million.
Oh, gosh, that's very, very nice for Florida. That's a very good signing.
So it's a great signing. If he performs, one, that's awesome for them, but awesome for him as well because he's going to be able to jump right in and get a great contract next year.
Yeah, 100%.
He's still making what, $4 million or something like that for the next 5 years, anyways.
So yeah, he's cooking.
Good for him. No one else really comes jumping out at you for Florida. Yeah. I mean, Michael Del Zotto agrees, but how much is he actually going to play?
That's funny. I didn't even know he's on there.
And then Rudolph Belzers ends up signing with Florida.
I like him. He's not bad. He's again just another depth guy.
I know him from Hut.
Yeah,
I know him from Hut.
Yeah, I just know him because he's like one of the only like Latvian players, right?
Yeah, and then the Stahl brothers we did talk about earlier, but
yeah, I mean Eric's a PTO, so I could see him not making the team. He probably won't. That's my guess, but
I wish Mark Stahl luck. He was like a dad.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he wasn't bad for you guys, unless I'm crazy.
He was okay. He was slow. Was the problem?
That's no doubt. Yeah, that's the one big thing with him. He's very slow, but yeah,
he was steady. So I wasn't a huge fan of him, but he was okay.
Defensively, you kind of knew what you were getting from him at least.
The LA Kings, Brendan Lemieux, Phoenix Copley. I mean, whatever.
I mean, you can include Fiala if you really want. I mean, that was a while back.
Yeah, that was a while back. But yeah, that's a great addition. But free agency, they have not done much.
Because I mean, they don't really have. I mean, they have some cap, but I don't think it's like a.
The Minnesota Wild have done even less somehow.
I mean, what can they do though? I mean, they had to trade their best player. Well, not their best player, but one of their best players. So
that's tough for sure. They have not done much, and I don't expect them to do much. There's not much they can do.
No, I mean it's really tough.
The Montreal Canadiens, Madison Bowie.
I mean,
Mitchell Stevens, and then they get Montembeault.
The funniest thing is, I mean, they're for how bad they don't have cap space.
Well, yeah, and they do have some RFAs still here with Caden Primo and Kirby Dach. So
Dach, yeah, I wonder what Dach gets. Honestly, probably not much.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they'll get a ton, but definitely gonna be an interesting one. Now, the Habs have legitimately zero cap space,
and that's crazy because they're obviously going to be a bad team again.
So it's very interesting, and we know a trade is going to be coming. Like there has to be a trade.
Yeah, that's the worst. Oh, like they're minus. You're talking.
They have 200K.
Okay, so basically, yeah.
Well, if they want to sign Kirby Dach.
I mean, yeah, you have to, and Primo as well.
Yeah, so they physically have to, because again, they have to be cap compliant.
Exactly. All Montreal back contracts end in 1 or 2 years, but I mean, at the end of the day, you got to find a way, before they end.
It ends in 1 or 2 years, but that's not now.
Yeah,
they have to find a way to get around it now,
and that sucks. Again, when you're spending to the cap and you're like a bottom 5 team, that's the worst spot to be in because you have no flexibility to do anything.
Nashville Predators make 10 signings so far.
Okay, really?
All of which are minor.
Kevin Lincoln being the biggest
one. He's not listed here.
Oh, did he go to Minnesota? Where did he go?
Luke Kunin.
Shark. That's what it was.
Sharks, there you go.
I knew it was a random team.
Yeah, so Jankowski. Like a bunch of minor players and depth players here for the biggest one being Kevin Lankinen, who's just going to be a backup goalie.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah, nothing crazy there.
Then we have the New Jersey Devils.
Kind of talked about that already. I mean,
Andre Palat, Vitek Vanacek,
Brendan Smith, I guess.
Brendan Smith, former Red Wing.
He's okay.
Wish you luck there. The New York Islanders.
Nothing.
Legitimately.
They have not announced one signing.
It's and here's
Ty
the thing.
Smith trade too, but we talked about that, Corey.
So 11 million in cap right now for the Islanders. 11 mil.
So they can sign players.
Well, they can. They also have to
sign Dobson.
Kiefer Bellows, Noah Dobson, and Parker Wotherspoon. You have to give a contract to Wotherspoon just because of his name. So
yeah, that's guaranteed.
So that is a decent amount of money that you're gonna have to give up. But it looks like Chara, Andy Green, Thomas Hickey, and Corey Schneider are all gone.
Yeah,
which is about 400 years in between them. So
Pretty much, literally. That's the funny part. The thing is, like with the Islanders, like they're so weird. Like what are they gonna do? Like maybe they have players that they agreed to terms with, but Lou doesn't announce it because he's weird like that.
Yeah,
but
I don't
obviously,
know.
but who can it really be, right? Like who can it be? Like at the most, it'd be Kaji or like Niederreiter. Like anyone else is not going to make a big impact to their team next year.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's going to be super interesting. If we move on to the Rangers, let's talk about that Vincent Trocheck contract.
That's a yikes, in my opinion. I mean, I'm obviously a Rangers hater, but I mean, I think most people could agree that's kind of an interesting contract.
I want a Vincent Trocheck because of my dream. I want to.
Yeah,
that didn't happen.
But you don't want 7 years. You don't want 7 years.
I'm taking Cop over Trocheck for that contract, 100%. I think
Cop's,
they're both
Cop's 5, right?
They're pretty, they're pretty comparable players, I would say. But that being said, I'm pretty sure Cop is younger and on a better contract. So
definitely,
who are you going to take in that one? Very interesting that they weren't willing to pay that to Cop, but then went out and gave even more to Trocheck.
I don't get it. Like, I mean, he's a great fit, but like, it's like,
and it's not like Cop was bad for them.
No, he wasn't. Like, and I'm pretty sure he said that like the Rangers never even made an offer to him.
Which is he did say that. That is insane.
Well,
he had over a point per game for the Rangers.
Like, what do you want? I feel like he was decent in the playoffs. He didn't produce as much in the playoffs, but I still think he was like a good like fit for them. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
The playoffs. I mean, he had 14 points in 20 games in the playoffs this year.
It's not bad, and then again, and he's not playing first power play either. Like he's a good player. I don't know.
It's an interesting decision, but hey, maybe it works out for them in the end. We don't know. They also have Yaroslav Halak. Wow.
Yeah, you know. Okay, I guess isn't he like 40 or something?
He's like 35-ish.
No, he's got to be older than that. Honestly,
he's 37. Yeah,
that's so close. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, hey, it might work out for them though. They still have to sign Capo Caco. I don't know if they're gonna what their cap situation is. I'm gonna pull it up here, but very interesting. And I want to point out to anyone in here who may be mad at you and I for the way that we talk about certain teams, but
I mean, we don't watch every single team. It's just kind of like an outside perspective on things.
Yeah. They still have to sign Capo Caco. They don't have much else to do, but they only have $4 million cap. So.
I wonder what the plan is with him. Like what is like the plan with him? Like, are they gonna give him like a top 6 role this year? Do they want to trade him? Like, I don't know what they're looking to do.
Between Capo Caco, Philip Zadina, Jesse Puljujarvi, like there's a lot of young, high ceiling RFAs right now who haven't signed.
That's true.
A change of scenery could work wonders. We don't know, but are any of them actually going to get moved? You know, that there's been a lot of talk about it. But
you always hear it. I feel like the Oilers kind of like have to trade one of them, don't you? Like Puljujarvi or Yamamoto, unless I'm wrong, right?
I don't see how they fit them both, but
yeah,
who knows? Moving on to the best offseason in possibly.
I think most people would say they won the offseason, Ottawa for sure.
The Ottawa Senators, my goodness. Good for them, honestly. It's about damn time they do something.
They've just been a disaster. I mean, they start like 1-18 every year, so I mean, it's definitely.
And they still have $11 million in cap space.
You got to be careful though, because it could really go away quick.
They have to sign Brandstrom, they have to sign Formenton, and they have to sign Joseph.
That's not going to cost much though. Probably $4 million at most for all of them. Honestly, it really shouldn't cost much. Like Brandstrom, what's he getting? Like, he's not going to get a lot. He hasn't been that good in the NHL for them.
I would argue that Formenton is going to get a lot.
Formenton, really? I feel like he's kind of fallen out. Like of like, I don't know. I feel like he's not as like popular anymore.
Well, that'd be super popular, but for somebody who put up 32 points on a limited role last year, they're probably looking for him to come play a little bit more. You know, he's
Joseph
Joseph
actually. Yeah, Joseph. He's actually good. Yeah, I like Joseph.
I would argue that. Getting all three of them for $11 million would be pretty decent.
That they'll be able to do, I think. That they'll be able to do.
Brandstrom's going to be on the team for. I don't think they give Brandstrom a bridge deal here. I think they sign him.
Like long term, we're talking.
I'm not saying not long, but I think they give him 4 or 5.
5, really?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I couldn't see it, to be honest. That's a long time for someone that I feel like hasn't really proven much.
That's fair. I don't know. I really like Brandstrom, so that could just be me. But
yeah.
Philadelphia has done pretty much nothing. I mean,
they did. I mean, they signed Deloria 4x4, I think, or not by 4, but 4 years. I'm pretty sure.
That's something a tough crazy one. I mean, they re-signed Morgan Frost and everything, and they got Braun back, but I don't I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm going to go back to Brandstrom real quick for you. Just real super quick. In his last 83 games, he has 31 points.
I mean, that's not bad.
As a defenseman.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And he is currently 22.
I mean, it's still there. You know who he reminds me of, honestly? Ty Smith.
Yeah,
very similar. I mean, very similar, same age.
How much was Ty Smith? By the way, I think it's funny that you guys got rid of Ty Smith and signed Brendan Smith. How many fans were give him the same number? Just completely swap him in and see what happens. See what happens.
I think they gave Brendan Smith number 2 today. I saw that'd have been so funny. They gave it to Ty.
Yeah, the Tony D'Angelo thing and everything. Like D'Angelo, and they re-signed who was
that was really really weird.
Ristolainen, I think it was.
Yeah, they gave him a big extension. Like
all those big deals.
Like, why do they? I'm sorry, this is gonna be a hot take. The Flyers are a classless organization. They really are.
I don't understand what they're doing here.
Yeah, like they like why buy out Lindblom? Like for what? Like that only would have made sense if you actually were trying to go for Gaudreau. Why would you get rid of him?
Corey, 31 points. Is what I had said about for Brandstrom. Only 27. I don't know. I'm just going off by what it says here. It says in the last 83 games, he has 31 points. I don't know. I'm just going off what the NHL free agent tracker is telling me here. I'm sorry. I apologize. I was 4 points, or they were 4 points off. That being said, not much going on for Philadelphia other than the signings. Free agency has not been as for Pittsburgh, they do get Malkin back.
They do, and they do get Letang back, yeah.
And they got Letang back. And then they made those trades. They got Jeff Petrie. They picked up Ty Smith and Paling.
Interesting offseason for them. And I don't know if you look at their depth chart or where you're looking on a cap friendly or whatever, but I believe they have 9 NHL D-men. Or 10. Not kidding.
I mean, so does Detroit.
But like, what are you gonna do?
Trade.
That's what I'm saying. They have to.
What they're gonna do is they're gonna bring everyone to camp. Let people earn their spot. If you make the team, great. If not, you're probably out.
Yeah, I mean,
right? Like they have Petrie, Letang, Dumoulin, Pedersen, Ruda, Smith, Rudewell, and Friedman.
Yeah, I mean,
Jack Johnson's a buyout, so he's not counting against them. I mean,
it's not. I guess I don't know. People were saying like 9 or 10 they had. I don't know, but it's funny they got back a defenseman with Marino. Or you trade Marino for a D-man.
Yeah, and then you get a D-man. Yeah,
it's kind of interesting, but I guess that's who they really wanted.
It makes sense, I guess. They also have Drake Kajula coming in, and Archibald, and Tokarski. All right, so they do have Xavier Ouellet as well, not listed here. They have him listed playing in the AHL next year, so I don't see him playing in the NHL either. But we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, just gotta see, really.
The Sharks, what an offseason for them! Just players in, players out.
They're just such a weird team, the Sharks. Like, what is their direction? Like, I mean, really, what is their direction?
Lindblom, and then they get Aaron Dell again, and
I like Lindblom. That's
Kunin's solid, like you said.
Yeah, he's fine.
Sturm's not bad. Like, good players, but like they didn't make any big splashes.
No, I don't really know what their team is. Like, what's their identity? You know, like I just don't know what the Sharks are. I mean, you have Carlson at 11.5 for 5 more years. Like, oh my god.
Moving on to Seattle, I don't know what they're doing either. Do they want to tank, or do they want to compete?
I'm looking at their team. I don't know what they want. Like, they're such a weird team. Again, they have $9 million cap. They
go ahead and sign Andre Burakovsky.
I mean, I like that contract actually. I like that a lot. Honestly, this is a hot take. I probably would have liked that more than Palat. Honestly,
he's solid. I like him a lot.
He's younger, plus it's even cheaper. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're weird. I mean, I don't know what they're trying to do. I mean, they really got lucky with Shane Wright because I mean, their forwards could be better next year. I mean, you run Beniers, Wright 1-2. I mean, it could be decent. It could be decent. I mean,
it looks like so they're going to lose Cholowski, Donato, Hayden Fleury, and Daniel Sprong.
Yeah.
But then they bring in Kuhlman, Burakovsky, Schultz, Hughes, Poganski, Polcharelski, and Hayden. So...
yeah, John Hayden's not very good, I can tell you that. As a Devils fan, he's very bad.
He was better than Dennis Cholowski, I can tell you that much.
Oh, he's on the Red Wings?
He was a Red Wings first-round pick.
Hayden, I meant.
Oh, no,
Oh,
Cholowski.
you're just talking about him. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. St. Louis Blues, just signing every former Detroit Red Wing. Nick Leddy, Thomas Greiss, Martin Ferk.
I'm gonna be honest. That Leddy contract's atrocious. I think that's horrible. I don't know what like that is. Why is he getting 4x4?
I don't know.
That was a magic number this offseason. 4x4 for D-man. Literally.
He was terrible last year.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. That's a very weird, really, really weird signing.
He even for Detroit, like he didn't do his job for Detroit.
Yeah.
So I mean, whatever. I guess. I mean, enjoy him. Yeah. You got him for 4 more years. Thomas Greiss, you get a 1-year contract. He was not very good for Detroit either, but to be fair, I think you put any goalie in that situation, they're not going to have a great season.
Greiss is really old though too. He's 36, so it's like you're pushing a little bit with him. But
they still have to sign Klim Kostin. They did get all the like Jordan Kyrou and all that. That's all shored up. They lost David Perron, so they lose David Perron. Who are they putting in that spot?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, like
Volachari.
Like, yeah, I don't know who's slotting in really for them. I mean, their wingers are Tarasenko. I mean, Buchnevich is nice, Saad. I mean, they have wingers. Kyrou's good. Thomas can play wing too. Barbashev. I mean, it's not bad.
It's not, no. And Barbashev had a great year last year.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what they were thinking. Like, oh, Barbashev's like he can just take up, what he was playing, right? So.
Tampa Bay Lightning. They get Nemestikov back for like the 8th time.
And they sign everyone to 8-year deals.
Yeah. What
3 8-year deals?
3 of them.
3 8-year deals. That is actually absurd. I don't think I've ever seen. I think they have probably the most 8-year deals. Like even if like obviously they're not starting this year, probably in the league because I'm pretty sure Stamkos was 8, Point is 8, right? Hedman was probably 8. So like they probably have the most like 8-year deals in the whole league. And why? Like
Corey Perry just made a great point here. Sorry, I want to go back to St. Louis real quick.
What did he say?
Corey Perry says they signed Leddy the 4x4 instead of signing David Perron.
Yeah, very very odd.
That's a very interesting choice.
Also,
what are you doing?
Yeah, he's causing issues all the time. Even Vasilevsky's 8 years, and they've signed so many guys 8-year deals. I don't know. To me, like Chernak, really 8 years. Is he like a? Yeah, to me, my hot take is you don't give 8-year deals to players unless they're like literally like part of the core. That's how I view it.
I would agree with that. Chernak's good player, good NHL player, but like, is he worth all that?
8 years,
yeah. Like you're paying him for a long
time. Like he's gonna be a free agent in
2031. You'll be going through a rebuild when you're still paying him.
I mean, yeah, Stamkos will be retired. I mean, literally, he'll be 40 in 8 years. Stamkos.
Yep.
So,
can we talk about Toronto? Because I'm sure a lot of people have been waiting for us to talk about Toronto.
Oh, the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Hi, Toronto fans. So first of all, I like the Toronto Maple Leafs. They are my second favorite team. That being said, dear Lord,
they have no cap. They're minus right now. I'm seeing minus $1 million.
Minus 1.5 million.
Yeah.
They still have to sign Sandin.
Yeah, so wait, what is the plan? To trade somebody, obviously, right? Like, or am I missing something? Is there LTIR for someone? Like, I don't get it.
They could put someone on LTIR, but the thing is with that, they still need to be compliant.
That's the thing, yeah.
People keep forgetting that. Yeah, it's like, they can do whatever. They have 9 million on LTIR coming up. Yeah, but they need to be on LTIR after. Like, you can't just. It still counts.
Yeah, and the other thing is, too, like, a lot of Devils fans say, like, oh, just put Bernier on LTIR, we're fine. Okay, but he's going to come back probably. And then what are you going to do? Like, mid-season, we need $4 million all of a sudden. Like, you can't just mess around like that. You need to have a plan. You need to have it figured out.
So they have Samsonov and Murray in net.
I mean, I just don't know how that's going to work for them. I mean, it could. It really, really could, but...
It could be amazing. Or it could be a disaster.
Yeah, it really could. Like
it's
Murray
going to be fun to see.
And Murray, let's just say Murray, 10 games in, he's doing really well. Hurt for like 2 months. Samsonov, you're the starter. And what if he's not that good, Samsonov, for them? It's scary.
Next offseason, they have 10 contracts, to re-sign. 10.
Well, Kerfoot's going to be gone, you got to think. Engvall probably too.
David Kampf.
Bunting obviously is going to be gone probably. They can't keep him probably.
I mean, he's going to want too much.
Yeah.
Simmons will probably be gone. Joey Anderson, Adam Gaudette, again, those are small depth players, whatever. But all these players are either going to want more money or they're going to go somewhere. So you're going to have a huge turnover in the roster again next year.
Yeah.
Is the big thing. And that's probably because of the fact that you were paying. I mean, the Nylander contract looks great now.
That's fine, that contract. That's literally the least of their issues, that contract. That's literally no problem. It's the other three that are kind of... It's really the Marner. Well, it's a Tavares one. That's what I should say. It's a Tavares contract. That's
Tavares, and then, I mean... Morgan Rielly is fine. Jake Muzzin at 5.6.
Yeah, you'd love to not have that.
And then TJ Brody at 5.
People say Brody's really good, so I
like Brody, but like that's a lot.
Maybe like 3 would have been nice.
Especially because he's not. Well, you're getting $5 million, but he's playing top 4 minutes. He's not playing top 2 minutes.
True.
And they still have to sign Sandin here. And then the year after that is Matthews and Marner. So
yeah, that's the thing. Matthews, is a UFA in 2 years, so, and he is literally going to get more than McDavid. Obviously, he's going to get 13 probably at least.
Tavares is done next season. No, Tavares still has 3 more years.
Yep, Matthews comes up before Tavares. Think about that.
So Matthews and Nylander is next year. Tavares and Marner the year after that.
Well, not next year.
Next year, the year after that. Sorry,
yeah, 2 years still. 2025 is a UFA.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry, I apologize. Yeah, so that's it's an interesting situation to be in if you're Toronto. Realistically, if Toronto doesn't win this year, let's say they get eliminated round 1 again, not saying it's going to happen.
You gotta, I don't know.
What happens?
Yeah, like what do you do? I don't even know.
Any Leafs fans in the chat, we're gonna pause what we're doing here and let's get some ideas from you guys.
Yeah, like what are you guys thinking? Like really, what is the plan?
If Toronto do not win around next year, what do they do? Will they try? I mean, Vanacek. What?
Stop.
What?
Nylander's gone for sure. It's stupid because
I don't think Nylander's the one to go. I don't think he's on a great contract.
I guess, but that's the most attractive trade chip they could trade, probably, right?
Maybe, but I don't know, man.
They're such a weird team. Like how they're constructed is very weird.
Yeah, if Toronto doesn't make it out of the first round next year, are Shanahan and Dubas done?
I think so. I actually do think so because it does get to a point.
Move. Well, Nylander is the easiest to move. You still need to have cap space for whatever you bring in. Is the problem?
Yeah, everyone's probably gone. Yeah, I would assume they wouldn't just fire the GM and the president and not the coach. They definitely would fire everyone.
Yeah, I was just saying. Yeah.
Everyone's definitely.
Are we saying that this is their last hurrah this season? If they can't get it done?
It's funny because we said this last year too. We did.
Probably, but
we say it every year. We always say if the Leafs don't win this year, what's going to happen?
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, but it's getting to the point where their contracts are coming up, and they're going to want more money, and there's going to be more deals.
That's the thing. Yeah, like what are you going to do? Just keep paying the same guys that just don't win?
Like Matthews has 2 years left. Nylander has 2 years left. If next season they don't win, and you're not letting Matthews walk to free agency.
No.
You're not letting Nylander walk to free agency. So that's why we're asking. If next season they can't get anything done, what do they do?
What, like Matthews like on the trade block? Matthews like I can't confirm, but I want to come back. He says, and then they try to deal him. Just like that.
All signs look like he's about to sign in Arizona, and the fans are cheering in the streets, and then he goes to Columbus.
Oh my God. 8 by 15, he says he signs. You're never going to win a cup then if you do that.
I'm very concerned for the Leafs' future.
It's scary because these are the years they should be winning.
Yes, and they're not. And this is not a jab at the Leafs because, again, they're my second favorite team. I follow them. I follow the team. I watch the games. The fact that they didn't get it done this year stings. If they can't get it done next year, it's like what happens? Because Matthews is getting a pay raise. It is going to happen. Nylander is going to get a pay raise. They don't have the cap now to pay that raise. Like, what are they going to do in 2 years? Cap goes up a little bit. Yeah, it's not going up that much. It's not going up $5 million. There you go. So, well, how much do you need to sign Matthews? An extra 4-year? Okay, raise the cap by exactly $4.2 million, please. That's not how it works. So, just not going to happen. It's going to be very interesting for Toronto over the next couple of years. We can move on to Vancouver. They haven't done a ton.
They didn't do too much though. Yeah,
Mikheyev, but
that's I'm not a fan of that. Maybe I'm they also didn't they sign Lazar as well long term too.
They
long
did.
term, but nice.
They did sign him. Yes. Yep. They still have Mikey DiPietro to sign, but whatever. He's probably on the outs.
Yeah, probably. I mean, they're interesting because again, are they going to trade Miller or like what are they doing? Like, I mean, you have to make up your mind with him too because he's a free agent. So next year. And Horvat's a free agent too, which I mean, obviously they're going to sign him, Horvat, but
he's the captain, right?
That's like crazy. Like he's that old now, Horvat. I remember like him getting drafted.
Yeah, hard to believe.
27. That's so scary.
Vegas getting Riley Smith back and Brett Howden. Cool. They're not doing a ton.
They're also under the like they have no money. Like they literally have to like figure out a way to move someone or something or LTIR or whatever.
Well, that being said, they did get Spencer Fu, so that's a big W for them.
That's true.
Yeah, great name. Washington gets Darcy Kemper and Dylan Strome. Good moves.
Yeah,
Can't be upset.
Yeah, I definitely respect their moves. They made some definitely smart moves. I mean, I like it. I mean, Kemper, it's only 3.
You won a cup.
How many years is it? It's actually it's 5. That's a little bit scary.
Yeah,
5 years at 32 years old. He's a cup. But I mean, obviously, let's not all be in denial here. I mean, a little bit. I mean, it helps to play on such a good team too. It does.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely.
Like I mean, the Avs were just so good. I mean,
not a lot else. We get Marcus Johansson back for $1.1 million or whatever it is. That's not bad at all.
That's funny. It's like keep bringing him back now.
And then the Winnipeg Jets get David Riddick.
Is that all they did? Right. Yeah. I mean, who wants to go to the Jets? No offense. That's probably one of the least like desirable places to actually play.
They're tearing down. Their window has closed. It would appear anyways.
That's like sad, honestly.
PLD trade talks and everything else. It looks like their window has
closed.
But
I even heard rumors of like Wheeler, like maybe. Like,
I heard Wheeler. I heard Scheifele as well.
But like Wheeler, I don't think like how's that even like possible? Like he makes 8.2 for 2 more years. Like unless they retain.
They could retain, yeah.
That'd be the only way. Yeah. But even so, what has he got left, Wheeler?
I mean, how did he do last season?
Really bad. Like he really was bad. Like I think it was his worst season of his career, honestly. Like
yeah, he only had 63 goals last year. That's tough.
Oh wow, you know what? Never mind. I take it back. He actually had a good season in the end.
Yeah, he had 60 points. Yeah.
Okay, so here I can explain. Okay, I can explain
for it.
You want to explain? You want me to explain? So I don't worry about the Winnipeg Jets, and all I can say is I believe it was like 25 or 30 games into the season. I think he had 1 goal. I'm not kidding.
If that's the case, he still finished with 17 in the next 30 games he played.
I know. Listen, that's what I'm saying. That's why I thought he didn't do that well, though, because I didn't realize he actually picked it up at the end of the year. That's my fault.
I don't follow the Jets, so I couldn't tell you. I'm sorry.
That's actually not bad in the end. I take it back. Blake Wheeler, if you're listening, I'm sorry.
I clicked on the Blake Wheeler stats here, and they're trying to get me to get season tickets for him. It's you can get quarter season tickets, so you get to go to like 10 games, something like that. For $60 a game. I could go to Red Wing games for like $12 a ticket.
Yeah, Devils tickets are so cheap as well. Like so cheap.
I mean, they're going to be going up because the teams are going to start getting better. But like,
not even I feel like the Devils, unless they were like
when
like,
you say
literally so
or
good.
as low as $60 per game.
Yeah,
that's $600 to go to 10 hockey games.
That's absurd. Yeah,
a lot.
That's not worth.
And that was free agency so far here. Now we still have John Klingberg, Nazem Kadri, Ryder, a lot of big names still available. Real quickly here, because we are running long. Where do we think Klingberg is going?
Has to be a team that has a lot of cap, right? Like, I don't know, Anaheim maybe? Like, I don't even know. Like, Anaheim, Seattle still maybe? Like, I'm not sure what they're thinking. Like, what team really can give him, like, a contract? I don't
of Canadian money, though. $12 US is still not $60 Canadian. Or vice versa. No, I was right there. Yeah, $12 US is not $60 Canadian. It's like 20. So $20 versus $60.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So.
But yeah, that being said, Klingberg, I hear a lot of talk about him going to Detroit. I don't think it happens. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think Oshman pays another defenseman like long term.
We have too many defensemen as it is. 1, 2.
You're going to be blocking like defensemen, like Edvinsson in the future.
Edvinsson needs to come up.
Yeah,
William Wallander. We have
Sherrod for 4, right? And then if you shine him for like 6, and you have obviously Sider, like
it's too much.
You don't want to get crazy, yeah.
unless it's like a 1-year deal, so we can flip him at the
Yeah.
deadline.
Oh
I don't want
yeah.
him.
But obviously, why would he sign for that, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Nazem Kadri probably goes back to Colorado, but like,
but we just looked at it, we have like no cap, so it's like I
have
don't
to make moves, and maybe that's what he's waiting for.
maybe, or is he going to the Islanders and he already has a deal in place and Ludus hasn't announced it, right? And the Islanders have moves,
I mean,
moves in the making. I mean,
there's
Kessel.
Phil Kessel.
Honestly,
I mean,
someone brought up a good point that honestly, some like I don't know who said this, but like they said that like maybe some teams were kind of scared to sign him a little bit because of what happened to Keith Yandel. Keith Yandel was so
fair.
bad, and teams feared scratching him. And I don't think the team wants to sign Kessel if he's just not good, and then they feel like they have no choice to play him, and they don't want to ruin his Iron Man streak. I think Kessel's better than Yandel for sure. I'm not trying to like say like that's the same player, but like what if, you know, like what if a team wants to scratch him and feel like, oh, we can't do it, you know?
PK Subban still available.
Yeah, that's another one. Like, I mean, I could see him going to like a pretty good team, like as like a very cheap deal, like maybe $2 million or something, right?
So a lot of players still available here. So great free agency so far. We are running kind of long. I don't know if you want to wait for questions or if you want to wrap it up. Totally up to
We
you.
do a couple questions for sure. Just a couple. Like we don't need to like go on like maybe like 5 more minutes or something, right? Like something like that. Like rapid fire questions, right?
Anyone has any questions for us in the chat, feel free to post them now. But while we are waiting for questions to come in, I just want to say thank you so much for listening to the Hockey Ultimate Talk podcast with me and Henrique. Whether you're watching here on Twitch, you're watching it on YouTube, if it happens to go up over there, if it's on Spotify, Apple, whatever. Thank you so much for listening. Having a good time talking, and hopefully you enjoy, and we'll see you again next week with the next episode. But Subban to Montreal.
That's impossible because they have no cap.
No cap.
That's the biggest issue. I mean, Subban back to Montreal, it would be cool, no doubt. But
question: I gave you a top tier joke. Can you go back and read it? Lung jokes are probably the worst part of the podcast.
Honestly,
my least favorite part of the podcast.
He said one stupid. Let me see.
Yeah.
He said, let's see.
Kane and Taze trade this year since they are in the last year contract. I could see them being gone, but
yeah. Okay, so he said, I bought a new sweater, but it was picking up way too much static electricity. I went back to the store and exchanged it free of charge. Isaac Lundstrom, any news? I don't know.
For the love of God, why do we allow him in your chat?
I don't know, honestly. He's a VIP, that's the sad part.
How well do you think Kemper does with Washington? I'm going to be honest, I'm very concerned for Washington this year.
Yeah, I feel like they can miss the playoffs, honestly.
They could miss the playoffs for sure. Their injuries are, you know.
What if like all of a sudden like Ovi just like regressed? I don't want that to happen because I want him to break the record.
What happens if out of nowhere? You're right though. What if out of nowhere he's putting up 15, 20 goals?
Yeah. Then there's no way they make the playoffs of Ovi scoring less than 30, in my opinion.
No.
Right? Like there's no way.
Thoughts on Amadeus Lombardi? Not only is it the best name in the entire draft class this year, he is disgusting, and I'm very excited for him to be a Wings prospect. Not sure if you've seen that, Henrique. 4th round pick this year. Goes into the prospect camp, playing 3-on-3 with other prospects for the Red Wings. Goes in there, first thing he does is a Michigan.
That's hilarious.
First thing he does is a Michigan.
You like to see that, though.
He puts up a hat trick and 4 points in his first game.
You want to talk about making an impact and a statement.
That's good. Exactly. 4th round pick. I watched him play against Windsor here in the playoffs, actually. He played for the Flint Firebirds.
Yeah.
And he was exciting to watch, but I didn't pay enough attention to him. And sure enough, he ended up making an impact in it's a prospect training camp, you know. You can't really get too excited about it, but the fact that he had the balls to pull that off in his first... Yeah, it was great to see, and we need players like that. So,
of course.
Him and Cross Hannes, man, it's going to be a nice line to watch.
Petrie to the Pens, thoughts? I mean, he's good. I mean, Petrie he'll be a good fit for the Pens, I think, but I don't know why you need to trade for old defensemen. I don't know. It's kind of weird to me.
Can you give me a prediction of the Caps opening 20-game record with new additions and no Backstrom or Wilson? Yeah, 0-20. Ovi has 41 goals already, but unfortunately he can't carry the rest of the team on his back. And they missed the playoffs. There you go. There's the entire season.
An actual prediction I'll give you. I mean, overtime losses are included. I'll say 12-8, but that's what I think.
Do Penguins make a trade for bottom 6 depth? I mean, sure. Why not? They could. They have a billion different players on the team already, but...
Red Wings fan, Devils. Look, I don't know why people get so defensive when we say something about their team to say, oh, the Red Wings suck, the Devils suck.
I mean, dog, anyone says anything about the Devils, and you go off on a fucking tear.
No, I know, but I'm just saying in general, though. Like, you know what I mean, though.
You know, I really don't think Jesper Bratt's worth $9 million a year. You take that back
He's
right
not,
now. I tell you what, right now, I'm getting mad. I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna show you Devils prospects. That's you right there.
This pocket's going too long, I think, unfortunately.
If you could be a Pokemon, what would you be? Ending the podcast. You guys, thanks so much for watching.
I know what you could be. You could be, I'm not gonna say
Snorlax.
No. I was gonna say Bulbasaur. Is that bad? I don't know why I can see it in your face. What? Do you guys see
listening
it?
to the Hockey Ultimate Talk podcast.
Wait, do you guys see it?
You guys have a great night. I can't. Take care.